Welcome, dear listener, to Desert Island Gamer, a quick-fire interview podcast digging into those video games that shaped us into the wholesome, kind-hearted people we are today. The entirely original premise: one desert island, one guest, 3 games they adore, one game they abhor, and a carefully selected gaming character with which to spend an eternity of moonlit walks along the beach. It could be weird, it could be unhinged, and it could have crappy sound quality, but at least it will be short. To the island. Welcome to Desert Island Gamer, the podcast that pretends not to care about podcast charts, because they don't care about us. And today I am joined by Mr. Atticus Shaffer. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here, man. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very happy to have you here.
Oh, dude, thank you so much.
People listening, you probably know Atticus as Brick on the Middle, Edgar in Frankenweenie, Ono in Lion Guard, some serious array of characters, and you're only 22, which for a man of my age is kind of depressing.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to catch up one day. However, do people know Atticus, the presenter, Atticus, the gamer, and star of Twitch streaming? This is where you're going now.
Yes, sir, it is. You know, it's kind of funny how it started, actually. COVID really messed everybody up. Right?
Big time.
Oh, yeah. And the funny thing is it really showed that people in Hollywood are by no means immune to what's going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? We're real just like everybody else. So when we get affected by something, we get affected by something. You know, Hollywood kind of shut down. Yeah, I think it's still shut down. It seems to me like there's only a handful of things that are going nowadays. And so I really sat back and actually, thankfully, I kind of had this conversation with myself before, you know, COVID was really an issue here in the States. But I sat back and I said to myself, okay, what do I want to do? What do I really want to do with my time? What can be a little bit lucrative, but something that I have a passion for and I enjoy? And of course, that's a thought process that I have after I play video games and hang out with my friends and do the things that I do, right?
Yeah.
And so really started sitting back and I go, you know what? I spend a lot of time on set in between scenes watching these streamers that I look up to and I admire. And I've got a couple that I like to watch, and they also double as YouTubers as well. And I said, you know what? That would be a really cool job to have, because I'm fairly knowledgeable about video games. I'm okay playing them, but mostly I have fun with it, right? I figured, you know what? This might be a great way of kind of transitioning into building up more behind the scenes creativity. Less on the acting side, more of the creative, like what can I do as a person? And actually the caveat of that is my production company, because I made a production company and I'm kind of doing things through that. And then all of a sudden I just started going on Twitch and streaming. Prior to that, it started with YouTube. I did some video game playthroughs on YouTube and it started to get a following. So then I transitioned over to Twitch, which really blew up very quickly. And man, I really, the timing of it couldn't have been better because of COVID, because it ended up where, you know, we were all stuck at home anyway, and it was still something I could do and still have fun, bring people together and try to be, you know, a positive light, which is really what I want to be.
That's what shines through. It is a very positive channel. The creative process itself, are you just all about spontaneous interactions with the viewers?
Actually, the really cool part of this is that my experience being on the shows that I've been on really kind of taught me about publicity, right?
Yeah.
How do you strategically build a business? How do you, get the word out and stuff like that? And it's actually kind of amazing because the Hollywood has changed so drastically now that really entertainment, you can only get it online now. It's not going to be where we can go into theaters and watch plays or movies or whatever. We can't do that. And we're not going to be able to do that for the foreseeable future. So now the way that I structure it is I'm looking at it like, okay, this is my network and it's kind of a variety show. There's definitely a heavy emphasis on, like you said, the spontaneity of it and interactions with the viewers. But I kind of like, I look ahead and I go, okay, what games are coming out? What's going to be popular? That'll bring in viewership. But then there's other stuff here that can be fun, like independent games. And so I kind of structure it like a network, make sure I have variety. For example, like even on Saturdays, I try to keep things a little bit more kid friendly. The way that I look at it is like Saturday cartoons. You know what I mean?
You've got a great variety on there. You've got Minecraft. Your next stream is Minecraft, in fact, isn't it? Later today.
Exactly.
You've got serious stuff like Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes.
7 Days to Die, which is a proper adult kind of game. So it's cool that there's a broad spectrum there for everyone, particularly when you can deliver it in such a smooth way, which I guess the acting background is a positive thing. It helps you out.
Oh, dude, absolutely. And, you know, I'm really blessed too, because like like really in my family, it's just my mom and I. But I'm blessed because my mom is a super creative person in her own right. I really give her the credit for my artistic view and the ability really to even comprehend art. And man, dude, she is like the best director of photography, cinematographer I could ever hope for. She does all my like publicity photos, my thumbnails, all that stuff. She's my camera operator. And man, it's just so cool to be able to, like, even in that regard, this is a way where my mom and I can bond and we're able to do fun things together. And it just so happens to be helping me to build this business that I am. So, I mean, this thing is huge in like every way. It's such a blessing.
It must be great to have that support as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's parents out there who will frown upon video games, you know, but for yourself, that must be the other side of the coin.
For sure.
Is this a new journey you hope will one day become the new day job?
I'll be honest with you, man. I do. Seriously. Because this is something that I really, it's funny. I was talking about this with my mom the other day because I did interact with a couple people who were kind of poo-pooing the notion of me making this into a job. And my mom turned to me and she said, listen, you busted your butt for 12 years as an actor and you were helping to make other people's creative visions come true. That's great, because that helped you in many ways. But now you're doing your own thing. And it's more about the creativity than anything. And you can be your own boss, make your own schedule and whatever. And it just so happens to be this positive light that other people can join and take part in. That's really where the root of it is building that community and having that fellowship, that fun, that laughter. And like we talked about earlier, that light, especially in today's times. So for me, absolutely. If this can become my new like day job and this is what I can say is my career, man, that would be awesome.
And to build it off something you're so passionate about as well is just the icing on the cake, I suppose.
Oh, absolutely. For sure.
We are going to dig into some of your gaming loves and gaming hates, but I do like to start with icebreaker questions. Question 1, Xbox, PlayStation, or PC gaming? Have you got a preference?
Oh my word. This is hard. It's definitely PC, but PlayStation is right there in its backpack.
I'm an Xbox man as well. We shouldn't be talking. For the games you're running, you've got a pretty impressive PC setup going on.
Oh, for sure, man. This thing is definitely my baby. I dig this. I cherish this thing.
Question 2, if you had to eat one meal every day for the rest of your life, what are you eating?
Oh, that's an excellent question. Oh, my word. Let's see. Probably my mom's barbecue ribs. Seriously. Oh, dude, they're melt in your mouth. It's so good.
I haven't eaten yet. You shouldn't have asked that question.
Oh, it's going to be a long interview.
Question 3, and to be honest, I had to ask this one. What fictional family would you love to be a member of?
Oh, fictional family. Oh, my word. You know what? I'll be honest with you. Probably the Finches from Atticus Finch To Kill a Mockingbird, my namesake.
Oh, wow. I thought you were just going to pick like the Dunphys or something from Modern Family. So you could see like the Hecks were so poor and the Dunphys are so well off, man. I thought you'd want like...
No, bro, take me back in time. I'll just sit and listen to my namesake talk to me and handle lawyer cases.
Great answer. Great answer. You are stranded on a desert island and you get to pick 3 games you either love or games that have mattered to you over the years. Atticus, what would be game number 1?
Okay, game number 1, hands down. I've fallen in love with this game again since I got my PC set up. Hands down would be Escape from Tarkov.
Talk to me about it because it's a game I've heard of but not yet played.
So Escape from Tarkov, it's essentially, I know where the concept came from. The concept came from when those troubles were going on in Ukraine and that little proxy war was going on. And it's set in a fictional city of Tarkov. And what it is essentially, think of PUBG with the detail of COD Modern Warfare. It's like that. And it combines, like, I'm such a dude, I often say my spirit animal is a squirrel. So it combines like the love of scavenging with awesome gunplay and action, a little bit of battle royale to it. And it's just such a dope game. It's so good.
Is it an online game only?
It is, yeah. It's an independent game, PC only.
I'm wondering if I'm looking at my PC thinking, can you run that game? Maybe it's worth a go.
Hey, if it can, you'll be addicted. Seriously.
Oh, well, that's definitely not a good idea then, because I get easily addicted. That's a great first choice. I always like it when someone picks a game that obviously throws me as well, because it's always something I can then go and check out myself.
For sure.
Game 2.
Game 2, man, it's definitely a game that you can spend a lot of time on, but it's very relaxing too at the same time. I would have to pick The Long Dark.
Right, cool. I do really enjoy this game.
It's solid. And especially if I'm on a desert island, I mean, learning all the bushcraft stuff in the game will probably be helpful.
Definitely. What is it about the game? Is it just the survival aspect?
You know, it's the survival aspect, but they've really done a good job with the story. Like, it's an engaging story, even in its simplicity. And the way that I liken it, it's very much like Liam Neeson's The Grey.
Right, yeah.
If you've ever seen that movie.
Yeah, I'm aware of that one, yeah.
Yeah, it's really solid, man. It subtly gives encouragement and strength, like in a very difficult situation, but it also has those high moments too, and very simple beauty. It's really solid.
I adore the setting. It doesn't make things easy for you. It's a real struggle at the start of that game to get from day to day.
Absolutely.
Another great game. That is one I'm aware of, and that's one I do enjoy very much. Straight on to game number 3.
Game number 3, man, it's funny because this game kind of came and went when it came out, but I can appreciate the art of it as well as the story, and I have to go with Days Gone.
Because I'm an Xbox player, that's one. Again, I'm aware of that, but I haven't had the pleasure of playing it yet.
It's a very long-running, engaging game, and what the developers did is they added this sense of realism, even though it's an incredibly fictitious story. They added this sense of realism, and what I love about it too is they really let you, if you really got yourself dedicated to it, you could do everything that there is to do in the game in one playthrough, and it's stupendous. Yeah.
It's an apocalypse setting.
It is, yeah. It's not necessarily like zombie apocalypse, it's infected apocalypse, but yeah, it's a unique take on it too, because what I love about this game especially, and this is me speaking as an American, we have a lot of divisiveness in our country, and we have, unfortunately, for a few years now. And they really kind of, our country is at a point where you're either on one side or the other, and that's the way that they want to make people think. But the reality is there's so many people that are caught in the middle of those two opposing sides. And what I love about Days Gone is they really stick you in a realistic setting of America. Like, there's all these different encampments, there's all these different groups, and they all have diametrically opposing viewpoints, right? But you, as the main character, and most of the characters that you engage with, you are literally caught in the middle, where you just sit there and you go, okay, I can see your point on that issue. I can see your point on that issue. But then for the most part, in a lot of other respects, he just plain doesn't care, and he just wants to, like, again, the story is what he's mourning the loss of his wife. He's trying to find a reason to survive. He's pseudo helping people, but he's also really guarded, and I really could identify with the character in that respect, and especially the realism that they painted him in. So the developers did an outstanding job with that and telling that story.
It sounds incredible, and I love how invested you get into the games. Like, you can tell you've got a genuine passion for these things.
Oh, dude, absolutely. Games are art. Games are art, just like a music video or a movie or a TV show or whatever it may be, man. They're an art form.
I think that's starting to be recognized, because for a long time, it definitely wasn't. It's nice that we're starting to shift that way.
Absolutely, for sure.
3 great games. People do well on the great games, mostly in this show. But unfortunately, you do have to pick one awful game.
It was funny, when we were talking leading up to doing this interview, I thought about this, and I'm going to offend a lot of people with my choice. Hear out my reasoning, though, when I tell you.
Go on.
The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh, right. We need to cut the podcast. Shut it down.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's 30 hours of hot garbage that's going to keep me warm for a long time.
I've often had some controversial choices made on the game people don't like. I mean, what in particular?
I am a ridiculously huge fan of the first one. The first game, it inspired such hope. The message in the game was a game of, hey, you know what? There's some really crummy circumstances going on, but look at the perseverance of the protagonist characters. They're looking out for each other purely out of love, and they're this beacon of hope in this fallen world, right? And that was what I loved about the game.
Yeah.
What I really didn't like about the second game, from an objective standpoint, the second game was superior in the first in terms of the art of the setting, the gameplay, the gunplay, the combat, the puzzle piecing, acting, all of that, ridiculously solid, far superior to the first game. But it was the story that got me. And for me, it was almost as if instantaneously, right from the beginning of the game, they just completely undid everything that was in the first game. And it really broke my heart. It no longer was a story of here's some hope in these really trying times. Yes, this bad stuff occurs, but man, the characters persevered through and they did whatever. It really ended up becoming a game where you literally hate everybody in the game.
I'm so glad, to be honest, you've chosen that. It's such a brilliantly controversial opinion that I'm absolutely made up.
I'm going to start getting hate mail, bro. I'm ready for your hate, people. Bring it.
Oh my God, I hope not. I hope not. Wow, I didn't expect you to say that, but you were eloquent, you know, you maybe have a point there.
Appreciate that.
I'm guessing the character you're going to choose to be on the island isn't from The Last of Us 2.
No.
So who's it going to be?
I'll be honest with you, man. The character that I would choose, hands down, to be on the island with me would probably be Deacon St. John from Days Gone. Reasoning being, especially after watching that game and seeing that transpire, he is definitely a person who has that perseverance in him, has that will to survive. And man, dude, he's a husky ninja. Like what I lack in my physique, I'll be the brains, he'll be the brawn. And if for whatever reason the island gets attacked by some deranged pygmies or something like that, he's going to take care of business.
Oh, you know about the pygmies then?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's a good choice. You sound like potentially the new Batman and Robin there.
Hey, you know what's up.
Yeah, when Hollywood's back, I'm pitching it.
Yes, dude. Hey, I'll come in, I'll direct it, star in it. It'll be great.
Perfect. Before we draw it to a close, I always ask, are there any games that you were kind of torn that maybe we've taken or maybe you were going to burn?
Well, you know, definitely nothing else that I would burn. That's really sad. Talk about adding to that controversy. As far as other games I would have taken, man, honorable mention would definitely have gone to COD Modern Warfare and 7 Days to Die. Both incredibly solid games.
So you're talking the latest?
The latest one, the revamp, for sure.
Because I get so mixed up. There's that many Modern Warfares and Black Ops.
Oh, for sure.
I'm still playing from like 15 years ago.
Nice.
I think that pretty much draws us to a close. Obviously, if you haven't yet checked out Atticus' Twitch channel, definitely do that right away. Atticus Shaffer Vlog.
Yep, that's it.
Tremendous amount of content, very upbeat, very welcoming, and just a great, enjoyable channel.
Thank you very much, man.
I totally appreciate you coming on, Atticus. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, dude, the pleasure's all mine. Seriously, this was fun.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. I enjoyed how controversial you were as well, which is just ideal.
Hey, listen, I'm a typical American, I guess.
Until next time, from me, goodbye, and from Atticus.
Sayonara, friends. Thank you so much.
Make sure you head over to Atticus Shaffer Vlog on Twitch and catch his stream. It's superb.